Do you dream of having enough money not to have to work if you don't want to? Do you dream of financial independence? When you think about it, only a handful of things sound more appealing. Who wouldn't want to retire in their 30s or 40s? After all, working until you're 65 is not mandated by law. If you're able to save and invest enough to support your current living and spending habits for the remainder of your life without actually having to work again if you choose, you're financially free. That said, most people are off track and way behind when it comes to even on-time retirement. 1 in 4 Americans have no retirement savings, and 52% feel that their retirement plans are not on track. Most people don't prioritize on-time retirement, so early retirement definitely feels elusive. You can change that as long as you prioritize it. Today, I'll show you how with 9 key steps, because I don't want you stuck with a job that you hate or potentially just dislike for decades. I don't want you to inevitably give up precious time with those that mean the most to you. Financial independence is more possible than you think with the steps ahead. My name is Frankie, author of the new book, Save Half, Retire Fast, and I think you're really gonna dig this book if you enjoyed today's video. So check it out on Amazon. I will link to it below and remind you at the end. Otherwise, like this video if I earn it and subscribe if you wanna see more from me. Transition to the tips. Step 1, reflect on and get clear about your why. I'm gonna be brief with this one because I do discuss it often, but I can't ignore it today. It's critical to know why you want to achieve financial independence in the first place. That way, when the going gets tough, your why will guide you. It's your North Star, your driving force that keeps you moving forward with motivation, and only you can decide what that is. Perhaps it's more time with friends and family, to be the best mom or dad that you can be, to pursue a passion, to start a business, to travel the world. Thinking through your why is an exercise you've likely heard about, but it often goes in one ear and out the other. So I do challenge you to reflect on your why or check in with your why and see if it has evolved at all. Step 2, picture your financial independence literally. Start by writing down your goals and objectives. Decide on the exact amount of money that you desire. Use an early retirement calculator to determine your financial independence number if you haven't done so. Personally, I really like this one from Wallet Burst, which I'll link below. I typically recommend 25 times your annual expenses as a starting point. There's a psychological effect of being definite about the amount you want to save and invest, and be sure to keep that number somewhere where you'll see it often so that it always remains top of mind. Be sure that you're specific about when you want to acquire your number by, and reflect on the effort that it's gonna take to get there. So what's the plan? How will you acquire your wealth? Doing what you do now, or is it investing in automation, a new higher paying job, perhaps some or all of that? Finally, daydream a bit. Think about what you would do if you didn't have to wake up to an alarm each day and go to work. Really imagine it. Where would you live? What would you do with your time? Because when you're clear about your why and your what, your how becomes easier. Step 3, internalize the importance of sacrifice and self-control. Achieving financial independence is a result of how much you can set aside each month as a percentage to what you earn. I preach saving 50% of your income as a goal in my new book. Does that sound challenging? Yeah. It is. That's why I devoted 280 pages and nearly 100 videos to the topic so far. It takes sacrifice and constant self-control. It takes reminding yourself that financial independence is a priority. Self-control is extremely tough to master in life, but it's critical for achieving financial success. Without it, you're gonna struggle to pay off high-interest debt. Your spending will rise as your income rises, and you'll lose focus on your why and your long-term goals. Sacrifice is a part of any good financial independence plan. Think through what subscriptions you can live without. Can you eat out less weekly? Can you keep your car and drive it for 20 years instead of upgrading it every 5 years? In the culture we live in, the line between wants and needs is often blurred, but identifying and sacrificing some wants today helps make your future dream a reality. And if self-control is an issue, set up automation so money automatically gets diverted to savings, bills, and investing so that you never have a chance to spend it. Step 4, avoid the lure of instant gratification. This one is admittedly similar, but I like to look at sacrifice as a long-term mindset, whereas avoiding instant gratification is a near daily test that you're gonna have to master. It's taking that consistent action. Most people give into instant gratification, but small daily splurges really do add up and put most people in a hole that feels impossible to dig out of. In fact, Americans' collective consumer debt recently surpassed $4 trillion for the first time. And yes, I said trillion with a T. Most people would rather have $5 today than $10 next week, or pay extra to have something now rather than wait a couple of weeks for a better deal. Unfortunately, we're wired for short-term gratification over long-term goals. One trick I employ though to overcome this is I like to remind myself that it's anticipation that's most exciting. So think about a cake. Once you start eating it, your pleasure shrinks with every bite as you get used to the taste and flavor and you start to get full. Your teeth might start to hurt and you might not feel great about yourself after the fact. The thought of eating the cake was actually the most exciting part. Plus, the longer I wait and build anticipation, I find the better that first bite is. Vacations, I think, work similarly. This mindset makes it easy to say no often in the moment, or to take a pause before making most purchases in the once category. Step 5, track your progress at least twice a month. Tracking is key, but it doesn't need to be extremely perfect or else it's gonna get overwhelming and stressful. I track my spending when I get paid on the 1st and 15th of each month. Payday is an excellent time to check your net worth, which I do through Personal Capital. Seeing that payday bump provides a nice dopamine hit that keeps me motivated. That positive feeling allows me to actually log into my credit card statements and reflect on my last 15 days of spending so that I can look for opportunities without being too hard on myself. Next, I check in on my progress towards my quarterly net worth goal, which is something that I decide on at the beginning of each year. Having a concrete quarterly goal keeps me focused without feeling overwhelmed. So create quarterly goals and track twice a month. And when tracking, stay on the lookout for opportunities to pull back in higher spending categories. Checking in on goals is gonna give you clarity and it reminds you about your big picture, why consistent saving and investing is so important. Step 6, internalize the concept of opportunity cost when it comes to spending. Consider the future value of money when making financial decisions. When you spend, you're making a financial trade-off. Overspending by $50 today doesn't only mean you're unable to save $50. You're missing out on the opportunity for that money to earn money if it was invested instead. $50 invested, earning a return of 8% a year would be worth $342 25 years from now. $100 today would have more than doubled in just 10 years. So you're not spending $50 today, you're spending $342 of future money. You're not spending $100 today, you're eliminating the chance for that money to grow. And it's an even bigger loss if it's money you could have earmarked for retirement via, let's say, a Roth IRA that could have grown and compounded for decades tax-free. This is an exercise that helps me improve my self-control and avoid the lure of instant gratification. So rather than asking yourself if something's worth $50, ask yourself whether it's worth hundreds. Every dollar spent is a dollar you can't get back and a dollar that can no longer grow. Step 7, speaking of, get comfortable with investing and how the stock market works. Nearly half of Americans try to achieve financial independence the hard way by working and saving alone, rather than investing their money and having their money do work for them. Becoming a smart investor is a key step that you must take on your journey to financial independence. You must make your money work for you. According to Vanguard, the average 401k contribution was 6.9% of pay. Only 21% of 401k participants save more than 10% of their salary towards retirement. I actually preach maxing out your 401k contribution as a goal, as long as you have, of course, your high interest debts paid off. And that cap is $20,500 for individuals in 2022. Contributing to a work-sponsored tax advantage retirement account is a simple way to automate investing and implement dollar cost averaging. This way, you're not trying to time the market. You simply contribute every paycheck and watch your investments grow with tax advantages. If you start investing for retirement the day you turn 20, how much would you need to save and invest each month to retire at 65 with $2 million? It's only $530 a month or $6,360 a year. How much of that $2 million came out of your paycheck, by the way? Just $286,000. Your investments and compound interest earn you that other $1.7 million. Step 8. Diversify your income. Start that side hustle you've been thinking about. At least give it a shot and see if it sticks. We all have 5 to 10 hours a week that we can carve out to help us diversify our income. Personally, I started making these YouTube videos, blogging on Medium, and writing books on the side, and this has dramatically changed my income over the years. In fact, all told, I earned about $20,000 doing all of that on the side in 2021. By the way, if you're investing consistently, you already have a second stream of income, so nicely done. Your money is generating money while you sleep. It's working hard even when you're not. Now, prioritize a third stream of income and take it further, perhaps a fourth, to make you unstoppable. Now, you might feel stuck with a stagnant salary, but your salary is not the only way you can make money. You have to be creative and prioritize more money on the side. It starts by prioritizing time for it. So how many hours could you carve out and what could you do? Let me know in the comments if you plan to make side hustles or passive income a priority in 2022. I would love to know about it if you're willing to share. And finally, number 9, you have to want it bad. The road to achieving financial independence requires a lifetime commitment. It'll push you to the edge of your comfort zone and beyond. So you have to really, really want it and commit. This goes back to your why and quarterly goals. It requires reflecting on what you intend to do when you reach retirement or early retirement. Where are you going to live? Who are you going to be with? What will you prioritize in the future? If you don't reflect on these questions and have clear answers, it's likely you're going to get off track or give up when the going gets tough. Many start off motivated and excited, but life throws an expensive wrench or two into the plan. A job loss. The market has a couple of bad years. Your house needs a new roof. Perhaps you decide to go back to school and take on more student loans. Financial emergencies, both big and small, can be deflating, but not if you want it bad. Not if you're consistent for years and have a long-term mindset. Not if you commit to developing this strong money mindset and continue to learn. If you want it bad, you're going to need to become a lifelong learner to continuously expand your personal finance knowledge. Wanting it bad makes it easy to develop a constant thirst to learn. I now find that studying money and making these videos is pleasurable and it keeps me accountable. Those are my mindset tips that I've learned in the last few years on my journey that has helped me prioritize financial independence year in and year out. Financial independence requires foresight, long-term thinking, and a holistic understanding of how your income overlaps with your expenses, your lifestyle, and future goals. It begins with deciding it's a priority, followed by a plan, checking in often, resisting temptation, investing consistently, diversifying your income, and staying hungry for it, especially in the face of adversity. If you decide you're going to achieve financial independence as a priority using these steps, you might find, as I have, it's easier than you think. It takes willpower and commitment, but if you're willing to live a life now that others won't dare to live, you'll eventually live a life others won't be able to live later on. It's not a dream. Make financial independence a priority, because if you don't prioritize your money and your financial future, I assure you, someone else will. Thank you as always for your time today. Here is that reminder to check out my new book, Save Half, Retire Fast. You can actually snag the ebook version for I think just $5 and get started with reading today. If you only read one personal finance book this year, make it this one because it's well-rounded And it's gonna arm you with the tools, the mindset, and action steps to make you successful in the short term, but especially in the long term. Have an awesome week or weekend ahead. Like this video if it spoke to you and hit the spot. Subscribe if you haven't already to see more videos from me. My name is Frankie. Your name is awesome for getting to the end, and I hope to see you, friend, next week on the next one. Thanks.